What's up, guys? Back again with another video. This is a video that I actually wanted to make first on this YouTube journey. As you guys know, I just recently started making YouTube videos, so I'm still learning all the kinks and trying to figure out how I really want to direct this channel. Most of my videos are very raw. I usually just do them in one take, so that's going to get better over time. But for now, just basically recording videos, posting them. It's still very early in the channel, so there isn't that much traction, so I can make mistakes and not really worry too much about it. But basically, this video is going to be how I started my investment portfolio, starting from zero and bringing it all the way up to $300,000. Basically, there are things that I could have done better, things that I could have avoided, things that I wish I did more of. So basically, this video is going to be about that, and we're going to dive right into it right now. So let's start off with a little bit of a backstory. As for me, I'm Michael. I'm 34 years old. I'm single. I live alone, and I have a pretty decent job. I wouldn't say it's a crazy job where I'm making like over $200,000, $300,000, but it's able to put a roof over my head and let me work from home, which I do really enjoy. As far as my background, I've worked in property management and real estate for about 13 years. So most of my background is in real estate and just property management. As for my real estate journey and all of that, I don't actually sell homes full time. I just have my real estate license because I worked for a company who was willing to pay for me to get my real estate license. So I took the opportunity and I ran with it. And right now I'm working somewhat of a property management real estate-esque job, but it's very adjacent to all of that. So we're going to dive into my portfolio and we're going to take a look at everything that I've got. I did make a video not too long ago showing all the positions that I do have, but currently, as of market close today, my portfolio is at $331,459.74. As you can see, I'm up 121% year to date, and we still got 3 months left in the year, so we still got a lot of room to keep this going up or going down. So as far as the way this video is going to go, I really just want to dive into, how I've done my investing journey. Investing, I always tell people, is very different for each individual person. You're never supposed to compare yourself to other people. Everybody's running their own race. And there's also going to be somebody who always has more money than you. You always have to remember that. So the big four strategies that you're going to need to develop when it comes to investing is consistency, research. You want to practice good risk management, and you want to be patient and have a mindset of delayed gratification. I think the last one, the delayed gratification part, is very important. I think a lot of people, they're so quick to take profits, and there's nothing wrong with taking profits. Everybody knows that, saying that nobody ever went broke taking a profit. I somewhat agree with that, but I also somewhat disagree with that. And the reason I disagree with that is nobody's ever gone broke taking a profit, but nobody's ever grown their portfolio to a massive level by taking profits very early. And then number one on that list was consistency. Like, you have to be very consistent when it comes to investing. I know for me, that's what's really helped was every 2 weeks when I got paid, I was always putting money into my portfolios, whether it was rain, snow, sunshine, hail, it doesn't matter. You always have to continue to put money into your portfolio. I wouldn't have gotten to $331,000 if I was being very inconsistent with the amount of money that I was putting into my portfolio. So we'll go down to the positions that I have, but once again, what I've done is going to be very different from everybody else. You have to really figure out what works for you, and you got to really go with that. So as you can see in my portfolio, my largest position is Palantir Technologies. A lot of people have their opinions on Palantir, but I've been in Palantir literally from day one. They went public on September 30th of 2020. We're literally 6 days away from their 5-year anniversary. And I was buying this stock consistently hand over fist from day one. And we can even dive into that and look at the way that I've been able to do this. If we go into my cost basis on Palantir, you'll see September 30th of 2020 was the very first shares that I bought. I bought 10 shares and it was at trading at $10.70. So when people say, they've been in Palantir forever, I've literally been in Palantir from day one. And as you can see, most of my positions, they're all long term at this point. Like I have a few short term. Actually, I don't even have any short term positions at this point, because the last time I bought Palantir shares was September 11th of last year. And as you can see, I'm up 978% on this position currently. And the third thing on that list, we'll say second and third thing on that list, was research and risk management. For me, I did a lot of research on Palantir in the sense that when they were about to come to market, or they're about to do their DPO, I think I read an article. I don't remember what article that I read, but I read the article and I was really interested in this company. So that's how I actually found Palantir, and how I basically knew I wanted to invest in this company from day one. And this was in 2020. I was investing previously before this, and I was jumping around into a bunch of random stocks. I think, like most people, when they get into the stock market, they're investing into like Ford, or some penny stock or whatever, just to try to get their feet wet. So for me, the first share that I actually bought was actually an AMD. I think the first share that I bought was in 2017 or 2018. Let's actually look at that. So it's actually in 2018. You'll see that the first share that I wouldn't actually say this was the first share that I bought. I know that I owned other stuff in like 2017 and maybe like late 2016. But here you'll see that I bought shares in AMD on in June 18th of 2018. I paid $17.13 for those shares. And as you can see, I still own those shares that I bought in 2018. I haven't sold a share of AMD. I haven't really sold a share of anything. Most of the stuff that I sell shares on are things that I actually bought with the intentions of selling. And the next thing that I want to show is going to be my portfolio performance, because I feel like this is very important when it comes to, sharing your portfolio and, just being transparent. And, I think it takes a lot to be very transparent, especially on the internet. A lot of people are going to criticize you and, tell you that you got lucky. I can't tell you how many times that I've heard that I've gotten lucky, which you can say maybe luck plays 5% in the entirety of the 100% when it comes to building a stock portfolio, but it just takes a lot of discipline in order to get to this point. So as you can see, rate of return this year, this is annualized, so I know a lot of people like to point that out. This is annualized returns. I'm up 132% this year. I'm beating all the indices by a staggering amount. Like it's not even funny. And then we'll go to previous years just to be very transparent. 2024, I did 123%. And then we'll go to just to be completely transparent here, we'll go to this time frame. And then you'll see the year before that, I did 54% returns. Some of the mistakes that I would say I've made, I would say the biggest mistake that I've made was not being more aggressive with buying some of the stocks that I have bought. I was very eager to actually double my Palantir position in 2023, but I ran into some minor setbacks and I decided to hold off on that. Not saying that what I have in Palantir right now isn't a good amount, but I could have almost double. I'd be probably close to 600,000 right now if I was able to double that position in 2023. But you live and you learn. Hindsight's 2020, so you can't really go back and make those changes. But I'm still very proud of being able to hold at least over 1,000 shares in Palantir currently. And then I would say the next part The next part, I would say the way I've adjusted my strategy, over the years is I have dipped my toes into margin, and I would say margin has actually not been bad for me. I wouldn't say risk adverse, but I'm very cautious about how much margin I use. I know with Charles Schwab, I could probably get maybe $150,000 in margin, but I think I only have roughly around 40 or 50,000, and I've dipped my toes into margin in the sense that I've sold short. So I've sold the biggest one that I sold short this year was United. I sold a put for $290. I ended up getting assigned, and now United is trading at $350. I haven't sold those shares yet, but I'm waiting for it to get a little bit higher before I exit that position. All right, so this video has been going on for about 10 minutes. I honestly don't like these videos to be long. Just most of the time, people don't even watch the whole video, especially with how raw these videos are. I don't really expect people to watch the whole thing. But what I would say is, if you're wanting to grow your account, we'll go back over the key points. You have to be consistent. You have to do good research, understand the company that you're investing in. A lot of people will say that, most of the people who invest in Palantir don't understand the business model or anything like that. And I disagree with that wholeheartedly, just because I believe that anybody can understand a company if they put in the time and the research to understand the company. And then as far as risk management, cut your check as big as you're willing to handle. You don't want to over leverage yourself. I think that's where a lot of people get caught up. You just want to be able to know how much you want to invest and just put that money in there and sit on your hands. I think that's the biggest thing that you have to do, is sit on your hands. And then the biggest thing is just having patience and just wait it out. If you're young, you're in your 20s or 30s, there is no excuse for you to not wait it out. You can wait it out for the next 10 or 20 years if you're invested in a very solid company. You can see with just about 5 years of waiting with Palantir, I'm up over 1,000% across the board. That is very good. Like, a lot of people won't see that, in their investment journey. A lot of people will like to tell you that you're not going to beat the S&P 500. I disagree. I think you can beat the S&P 500 consistently over the course of many years if you know what you're invested in and you're willing to be patient. So that's about all I have for this video, guys. I don't want it to be too long. I'll probably make another video on this topic just to continue to dive deeper into this. But for right now, just posting this video as it is. I don't do that many edits on any of these videos. I really just post it as you see it. So it'll get better over time. But thank you for watching. Talk to you guys later.